Hi, good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Nick van den Berg here, the CEO of BlockDAG. Tonight's AMA is just a little bit different. This is AMA 52. We've been at this now, Caitlin, for 52 episodes. Very exciting times. We're gearing up for our trading event taking place on the 4th of March. So please look out for any updates that may take place between now and the 4th of March. We're going to be announcing various other listings. We've already announced that we're going to be live within the USA on a tier 1 exchange, so that's going to facilitate trading for our international ecosystem consumers. So we're very excited about that. Further to that, tonight I'd like to cover some of the topics that are being spoken about within the social forums, as well as through our support channel. So remember, if you have a query, please reach out to our official support channels. Also ensure that you have access to the official channels, whether that is blockdag.network or any other channel that is offering direct support that is officially coming from the community. So without further ado, let's jump into the wallet allocations insofar as the claim process is concerned. Even though we've had roughly around 45,000 of our community members now access the claim process, there are still a number of individuals that are having edge cases with regards to their wallet and the activation thereafter. What we can say is if you're utilizing any of the Ethereum based wallet solutions, whether that is MetaMask or Trust, or in some instances the cold wallet, if you're outside of these wallet solutions and you're utilizing another wallet, the easiest way to then go through the claim process is to export that wallet into a new wallet, such as MetaMask or Trust or the cold wallet. How you would do that, very simply put, is you are then opening up the web browser extension of MetaMask or the application on iOS or Android. So in this instance, if that is, say for instance, the MetaMask application, you would then go through the setup of a new wallet, but you would then choose the import function. This gives you then the optionality to be able to enter in a seed phrase or utilizing your private key. The key here is to utilize your private key in the setup of the new wallet. You would do so through the import function. You would then fill in your private key that you copied from the previous wallet solution, and you would then be able to then obviously set up that wallet now in the new application, being MetaMask or Trust and or the cold wallet. Just a reminder, in order for you to then access the BDAG chain, you would then need to add that manually, and you would need to do so for MetaMask and Trust. You certainly don't need to do that for the cold wallet, as that has already been integrated into the cold wallet solution. So in order for you to do that, you would then check on the custom network or add custom network, or manage your custom networks or manage your chain selection. That will then give you the opportunity to load the chain details manually. This is straightforward. It is https rpc.bdagscan.com. So https rpc.bdagscan.com. That is the RPC node that you will be loading. You then need to load the chain ID, so that is 1404. So the chain ID is 1404, and yes, you can give the chain a name, and that would be BDAG if you're going to choose BDAG, or BlockDAG if you choose BlockDAG. You would then fill in the Explorer details, and just for note, the Explorer details are https://bdagscan.com. So those are the details that are required. You would add the RPC node, as I've just explained. You'd add the chain ID, and then you would add the Explorer ID in some instances. Once you've saved that chain, you would then notice that BDAG or BlockDAG, depending on what you call the chain, is now available in your preferred wallet. From there, just double check that you have the same receive address, which is then your Ethereum receive address. As we are Ethereum compatible, it will be the same address on Ethereum. Then make sure that that same address is the same one as your previous wallet. So if you were using let's just say, for instance, Binance's Web3 wallet or the base wallet, which is Coinbase's upgraded wallet, you would then just check that you have the same Ethereum receive address. That is critical, because otherwise then when you go through the claim process, your wallet address is not going to be registered in our claim vesting contract, for which then that means that you're not going to be able to make that claim. So it's a quick check to check whether or not you then have the right address. Once that is all set, then you can log in via the claim process. You would then click onto the claim button, and that will then obviously allow for you to be able to make that claim. In some instances, there are some edge cases where there aren't any private keys available in some wallet solutions. We're working on those edge cases with the wider wallet providers. This is obviously something that we need to do with the wallet providers and not necessarily ourselves within BlockDAG. However, the easy solution is for you to be able to just utilize your private key, import that into either MetaMask or Trust, and go through the claim process. Again, then just also the second point of today's AMA is to update everybody regarding what they're seeing in their dashboard. If you have made a purchase post the TGE event, so if you go back to the TGE event, when we first went live, when we made the claim button live, and you've made a purchase, hence your claim is going to be validated in the second batch. So why is that? Because when we went through the vesting process, in order to ratify and audit the vesting contract, we had to draw a line in terms of the date, which was then utilized as part of the audit that we did with Hellborn on the vesting contract. What does that mean? That means that anybody that made a purchase before that date would include it in the first batch. Therefore, their claim is active and it is available to claim in the back office or the dashboard. Anyone that has made a purchase or a secondary purchase or a first purchase after that date, those coin allocations, as we're a layer 1 solution, those coin allocations are then will be available in the next batch. We will do the next batch within the final week or two, gearing up obviously for our 4th of March trading within the global exchanges. So we'll facilitate that batch for claiming. You are going to be able to then claim and get those allocations airdropped based on the vesting schedule. If you've purchased any other additional access pack or activation pack, these are typically the elite pack and further others, we will ensure that you are then obviously whitelisted based on the time allocation afforded to that particular purchase. So that's all in hand. You don't need to do anything when it comes to the exchange trading. From a listing perspective, you will be whitelisted as per that time frame. So you'll be whitelisted as per that time frame. So not to do anything, we've already secured all of your wallets. We'll pass those on to the various exchanges on the trading date being the 4th of March. And based on your date, whether that's 3 hours, 6 hours, 9 hours, or in some instances 12 hours before, you'll have allocation to your deposit for the exchange in order for you to start trading. So those are 2 points for tonight's AMA. Number 1, on the wallet solution, that is our recommended solve in order for you to claim. Secondly, in terms of the ability to claim certain BDAG allocations within your dashboard, that was based on a batch process. So the first batch for the vesting contract was then unlocked prior to the TGE event. And then secondly, if you've made a purchase post that event, therefore then you will have your ability to be able to claim in the second batch. Thirdly, if you've purchased any of our access packs, in order for you to get early access, that will be made available to you as we get closer to the 4th of March. What does that mean? You don't need to do anything. That will obviously be made available to you on that basis. Then the next point is to talk around the tap miner points and the various compression ratios related to the bonuses. We took the tap miner points based on the ratios that I've already updated and explained in earlier AMAs. These are available for you on the YouTube channel, so the official YouTube channel. There are all the AMAs that we've had over the last 52 days, and there is then a table of compression for the tap miner points. Noted, the tap miner was a reward-based incentive that was rewarding our ecosystem with the ability to be able to earn points. These then have been translated into bonus BDAGs based on the table allocation, depending where your band is on the allocation, and these were then added to your bonuses. The bonuses themselves have been compressed to align with the tokenomics and also the vesting schedule. So any tap miner points got allocated to bonus BDAGs. Those bonus BDAGs got added to your bonuses in terms of your dashboard, and that was then compressed based in line with the tokenomics to ensure that we have sustainable tokenomics going forward. So for everybody that is asking those questions, that's exactly what's happened. The tap miner compression ratio for the points to bonus BDAGs is available in previous AMAs, where I went through the exact table. We can also make that available in the FAQ on the homepage, which I will do shortly prior or after tonight's AMA. So that is what has transpired with regards to the tap miner and the points bonus allocation plus then compression of the bonus as a universal compression. There's also a number of questions pertaining to allocations of the X1 miner. Those are still due to be allocated on the basis that the X1 miner is still active as a reward mechanism. As we gear up to the 4th of March from a trading perspective, we will also allocate these allocations to those individuals that have linked their wallet as part of the X1 miner. So you're still able to continue to enjoy the fruits of the X1 miner. And also just a note, excitingly on the roadmap, we're going to be converting the X1 miner and the cold wallet into a super app. So that's our super app. We've already obviously spoken about how that is going to translate. It's going to be an exciting new utility factor for the community and for the existing X1 miner community. So a note on that, that we are going to allocate the X1 miner allocations based on the tokenomics table, which is included in the 50 billion pre-sale allocation. That will then be made available on and or before the 4th of March. And then that will go through the normal claim process within that ecosystem. Certainly, the additional notes pertaining to current allocations that are being activated on the main site, these are from a different allocation pool. So what we have done is it's not coming out of the existing allocation pool. This has been made available. I know there's quite a lot of questions, how can you continue to sell tokens on that basis? So make sure, if you haven't purchased yet, please go and do so through the BDAG website. We've got our Genesis price now live. We've also got our exciting access packs for the community based on earlier access to the trading from the 4th of March. So we have made allowances for additional allocations through the 50 billion allocation, and that then forms part of this current sales process. So if you haven't yet purchased BDAG and you're not yet geared up for this launch on the 4th of March, where we're opening up trading, please make sure that you go through that sales process. And the Genesis price is live right up until the 2nd, 3rd of March. So thank you very much for today. Really appreciate the support. We have an action-packed roadmap ahead from the development side of things. We've got some new D applications. We're going to be launching our staking reward contract during the course of this week, which is going to be extremely exciting. That's going to be able to give you the ability to be able to earn an APY that's tied to mining rewards. So as the mining is taking place and the blocks are unlocked and verified, there is a performance portion there that's going to be allocated to staking rewards. Very exciting. That means that it's tied to the core blockchain. This means that we have a staking reward contract for the full duration of the life cycle of our project for the next for the next 50, 60 years. So it's an exciting addition to rewards. You're able to then earn rewards on that basis. So thank you very much for an incredible 52 AMAs.